Parval? Okay. So, hello, I am Dr. AMIRTHAVALLI. I am working as an associate professor in the Department of History, DKM College for Women, Vellore. Today I am going to handle the topic about the Delhi Sultanate. The Indian history, if you see, it's been divided into three major parts, that is the ancient history, medieval history and the modern history. Today we are going to see the medieval history. In the medieval history, it starts with the coming of the Muslims. So, in this medieval history, I am not going to handle about the Muhammad Ghazni or Muhammad Ghori, I am going to handle the slave dynasty, how the slave dynasty was formed and who were the rulers and how efficiently they ruled India. So, the first slave ruler, if you see, the slave dynasty was from 1206 to 1290. So, this period, the slave dynasty, it was founded by Qutbuddin Aibak. He is the first slave ruler. Why he is called as a slave ruler, if you see? He was purchased by Muhammad Ghori in Afghanistan. So, most of the slaves, the kings, the sultans, they wanted many people as soldiers and generals. So, they used to go and purchase people from Afghanistan. So, it was Muhammad Ghori who purchased Qutbuddin Aibak, and he was the founder of the Mamluk dynasty. The slave dynasty is otherwise called as the Mamluk dynasty. The meaning for Mamluk is they captured, the owned, that is they are being owned by the king, the sultans. So, that is why it is called as the Mamluk dynasty. So, the next slide. So, if you see Qutbuddin Aibak, he was the first ruler and he is also otherwise called as the Luck Baksh. So, the famously he is called as Luck Baksh because he was a slave, and after the death of Muhammad Ghori, there was nobody to claim the throne. So, automatically he was a trusted general of Muhammad Ghori. So, he captured Delhi and he became the first slave ruler. So, it was he who constructed the first Qutub Minar, which is in Delhi, and he also constructed the first mosque in India. So, that is and after Qutbuddin Aibak, if you see, after while playing polo, he fell down from the horse and he died. After Qutbuddin Aibak, it is his son Aram Shah, he became the next ruler. He is not an efficient ruler, he was a weak administrator. So, his son-in-law Iltutmish, he captured the power and he became the next ruler of the slave dynasty. Iltutmish, if you see, he is called as the slave of slaves. Why, if you see, why he is called as the slave of slaves? Because Qutbuddin Aibak, he was a slave and he bought Iltutmish another slave, that is why he is being called as the slave of slave. So, he is the founder of the slave dynasty, and Iltutmish, if you see, he belongs to the Ilbari tribe, which is also from Afghanistan. He is a Turkish tribe, and his period, you see, he has been ruling efficiently, and it was during his period he introduced many coins, and he also constructed many mosques in and around Delhi. And he is first, if you see, he is a modern ruler, we have to say, because he nominated his daughter as the first ruler. It was during this time, you can imagine, around 1200 AD, if you see, that too in the Muslim community, it is very difficult to nominate women to be a sultan. So, he nominated his daughter, though he had sons, he felt his sons were not efficient. That is why he nominated his daughter Razia Sultan as his next heir, the next ruler, and as his father's wish, she also ruled efficiently, and she became the efficient ruler. So, what happened? Continue, Pannuma. Okay. So, what happened after whatever his father's wish, she fulfilled. So, he trained his daughter Razia in all the tactics. He taught her how to do warfare and how to administer. So he has his father's wish. She used to dress like a man and she used to sit in the Sultan's throne, and she used to rule the country. And whenever there is a war, she used to lead the army in the front. She used to take the army like a man. So, so she is also another efficient ruler. After Razia Sultan, if you see, she was being murdered, and later on Bahram Shah, he became his brother, he became the next ruler, but still he was also not efficient. Later on, Balban, who was a governor during Iltutmish period, and he also worked during Razia's period, Razia Sultan's period, he took up the throne and he ruled over the slave dynasty. After his death, if you see, his son, he became the ruler, and that was the end of the slave dynasty. With this, the slave dynasty, it comes to an end. Now we will see about Qutb-ud-Din Aibak. So this is the map which is showing what were all the places were under the control of the Delhi Sultanate. If you see here, this was the first slave dynasty where only the Delhi region was occupied. Later on, during Iltutmish period and during Balban's period, most of the northern part of India, it came under the slave dynasty rule. And after the decline of the slave dynasty, if you see, the kingdom was further shattered and it became many small provinces. And only during Alauddin Khilji's period, you see, you can till south they have occupied, and even till Rameshwaram they went and captured. So during Khilji's period, the whole of India came under the control of the Muslims. Okay, so that's what the Mamluk dynasty is otherwise called as the slave dynasty. Here with the names of what are all the places, it's been marked in the map. So you can identify the first slave dynasty because Muhammad Ghazni and Ghori, they came, they occupied, and they left the generals to rule over India. So after the death of Muhammad Ghori only, the Muslim dynasty, it was formed in India, and these are the places which was first under the control of the Muslim rule. Okay, so this is the picture of Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, and he is the slave of Muhammad Ghor, and he made Delhi as the capital, and he himself declared as a king after Muhammad Ghor's death, because there was nobody. Muhammad Ghori trusted Qutb-ud-Din Aibak and he appointed him as a governor. So while returning back to Ghori, Muhammad Ghor, he died. So there was nobody to claim the throne. He claimed the throne and he became the first Muslim ruler dynasty which was formed in Delhi. So as I told, he is always called as the Lak Baksh. So Lak Baksh means giver of lakhs. So he knows the difficulty of what is the life of a slave. So he always had that is love for the poor people, and he used to donate whatever he had. He used to donate to the people. So he used to that is, he is a giver of lakhs. So he never kept for himself. Whoever comes, he used to donate, and he used to help the poor people. So that is why he had a title called as the Lak Baksh. He has constructed 2 mosques. That is the first mosque which was constructed in India. So that's Quatul Mosque and Adaidin Ka Jonpara. So these are the mosques which was constructed. And so next is the Iltutmish. After Muhammad Ghor, how he died. Muhammad Ghori, he died while playing polo. So he tripped and he fell from the horse, and that is the pictures been given here, how Muhammad Ghor, he was playing the polo. He is very much interested in playing polo games. So while playing polo, he tripped from the horse, he fell and he died. So all of a sudden he died. So that is why he only ruled for 4 years, 1206 to 1210. So after his sudden death, his son became the next ruler, but still he was not efficient. So Iltutmish was the son-in-law. So though Iltutmish, he was a slave of slave, he was a very intelligent and a very efficient person. That is why he Qutbuddin Aybak, he gave his daughter in marriage to Iltutmish. So Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aybak. So that's why here if you see, these are all some of the points which you have to note it down. That is how he ruled only for a short period of 4 years, and many Muslim writers have given information about Qutbuddin Aybak, that he is a donator. He used to donate whatever he had. That is why a special title was given for him as Aybak the Luck Baksh. So this is very important, Aybak the Luck Baksh, or the giver of lakhs. So, so after sudden death in 1210, he was succeeded by his son Aram Shah. So Aram Shah, if you see, he couldn't administer and he couldn't rule the Muslim, that is Mughal, that is Mamluk dynasty. So it was a failure. So though he is not an efficient ruler, so that is why his Aybak's son-in-law Iltutmish, he became the next ruler. He belongs to the Ilbari tribe. So Iltutmish, if you see, he is not by birth a slave. He belongs to a noble family. His brothers, they were very jealous of Iltutmish, and without the knowledge of the parents, they sold Iltutmish in the slave trade. And it was that time Aybak, the Qutbuddin Aybak, the ruler, the Mughal, the slave dynasty ruler, he came and he bought Iltutmish, and he gave lot of training to Iltutmish. Under Iltutmish, they have captured lot of places in India, and he is an efficient ruler. He also occupied, that is in the map I have shown, before it was a very small kingdom, later on it was Iltutmish period, it became a very big empire, and it was Iltutmish who shifted the capital from Lahore to Delhi. So from then on, Delhi was a major place for the Muslim rule in India. So 1211 to 1236. So if you see, it was been ruled nearly for a period of 25 years. He has given a stable long rule in India. It was during this time only Delhi, a lot of architectural development took place and a lot of administrative changes took place, and he is a thinker, that is, it was he who gave equal importance to men and women, and it was he who trained his daughter Razia Sultan, who was a very efficient person. He identified women. So though the women were suppressed, but he was a very different person. He gave importance for his daughter. He gave all the training, how equal training, how he gave to his sons, he gave the training to his daughter also, and while in his deathbed, he said his daughter will be the next ruler of him. So in that way, if you see, he is a very efficient person. And Razia, how her father's dream was, same way she also occupied the throne, and she was a very efficient ruler compared to her brothers, but still that society is being dominated by men. They did not want women to be a ruler, so they always opposed Razia Sultan, and they was giving lot of problems to Razia. Though she was wanted to rule in an efficient way, but she was not being helped by the nobles. Lot of what you see, a lot of problems and treacherous activities they made at the back of her, and they tried killing her many times, and there was nobody support for Razia, but still she managed, and later on the nobles, they killed Razia Sultan, and afterwards it was the Balban who ruled from 1266 to 1286. Balban also, if you see, he was also a very efficient ruler, because he was working under different, during Iltutmish period he was there, and during Razia Begum's he was there. So he knows how to administer. Actually he was a noble. He was one of the noble who was an efficient ruler. During Iltutmish's period, if you see, Iltutmish, he created 40 means 40 nobles, that is the slaves, who were very efficient. They were only ruling the kingdom. So they became so prominent, and Balban was one of the 40. So later on, Balban knew how 40s were very powerful. That is why he demolished, he put an end to the 40 and he said 40 is hereafter they won't have any that is they won't have any power. He destroyed the 40 and he said he is the ultimate ruler, and Bourbon he trained, and he always had people with him, security who used to who used to go with him. So, with the death of Ghiyasuddin Balban, the slave dynasty also came to an end. After this, it was so later on, if you see, this is the picture of Iltutmish and Razia Begum, the famous Iltutmish, who was a visionary, and he nominated his daughter Razia Begum. So, after Razia Begum, it was Balban. With Balban dynasty, slave dynasty, it came to an end. Thank you very much.